Hello. I'm gonna pull a card, just one, and this is Sapphire, my little dragon buddy. She wanted to be here today for this, so she's here. She says hi. Okay. I've got my mermaid Sisters of the Sea deck, and I've shuffled them, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull a card. Yeah, I'm feeling like the energy today is still kind of that intense energy, but it feels like it's not as strong as it was yesterday and like the last 3 days. Okay. Why does this card always come up? All right, and you know what, I'm not always going to read these cards the way that they're intended in the way the author of this deck intended them. I'm just going to intuitively read them and like whatever comes to me. Okay, and this is 36, the Saltwater Sisters. Okay. Right. I can see in this that they're under the light of the full moon. So, whoops, sorry, babe. They're under the light of the full moon, and they're feeling the effects of the full moon, which we often do, even if we don't really know about what the moon can do, how it can influence us. We are all affected by the moon's phases and everything, and you know, we just may not always be tapped into that and know that, but it does affect us just like it affects the tides of the ocean, and you know, it does affect us. Okay, and so some of us are just more sensitive than others in perceiving that. Okay, they're under the full moon, and the moon is radiating its light, and I'm gonna say the full moon is shining the truth. Okay, and these two mermaids are they're sisters, and they are resting near the rocks, on the rocks, near the rocks, and let's just say they're grounding themselves, and they're taking a breather, and they're they're just kind of, they're resting for a moment. Maybe they've just been on a long journey. Maybe you've just been on a long journey, or some sort of you had some sort of experience that was taxing, or you felt anxiety, or pain of some kind, or you know, just something that you had to go through that was difficult for you, and maybe even traumatic to some point, to some degree, and you just need to get yourself centered again and take a breather and figure out how to just like how to just be in your body, how to just be you for a moment. And or maybe it doesn't have to be a traumatic thing, but like just the constant pace at which life often takes us, on that ride where everything is so fast paced, and we just need to take that little bit of time to, like I said, recenter and recalibrate and be, come back home to ourselves and like really figure out, or you don't even have to figure out anything, but just allow yourself to rest and to just be, and to not be caught up in the currents of everything, and allow yourself to see the truth under the full light of that moon, like, and you don't have to be under the moon to see the truth, like I'm just saying that, getting quiet, getting that stillness within, so that you can start to sense your truth. And and notice that this card is blue, a lot of blue in this card, which blue is the throat chakra, and your throat chakra is all about speaking your truth and expressing yourself. And so maybe you've been holding yourself back from speaking what you really want to say, and for various reasons. It could just be that you're afraid to say the things that you really deeply feel are true for you. You're afraid to stand up for yourself. I just saw a butterfly, cute butterfly. They fly over here all the time. You're afraid to fully just express yourself in your truth. And maybe you're a people pleaser like I've been for most of my life, and you put other people's comfortability, is that even a word? I hear it all the time, but I don't even know, I haven't looked it up. But anyway, you put other people's comfort before your own. And before, like, essentially we're being dishonest, aren't we, when we do that, when we're afraid to speak our truth because we're afraid of how it will be received by others. And I don't know, that just feels inauthentic, and it doesn't feel good, especially like for me, especially in like the solar plexus. It feels like ooh. And in the heart chakra, those two places, the heart and the solar plexus, those chakras, those feel really tense, like lots of tension, friction, and unsettling feeling. Excuse me. When I am doing that, when I'm putting someone else's comfort above my own truth, above expressing my own truth. And and when we express our truth, we can do it in a very loving way. We don't have to do it in a way where it's going to intentionally hurt somebody. But holding back on what you really need to express and to live, to live authentically in that truth. Holding back on that is actually just, it's not serving anyone, because then the people that you're trying to protect, well, first of all, you're hurting yourself. But then the people that you're trying to protect, you're actually not protecting them, because if they don't know how you really feel about some things, then they're in the dark, and their perception of even who you are as a person, and what you believe and what you think, and how you feel about whatever it is that you are needing to express, they're not going to know that, and they're going to their perception is not going to be clear to the point where they can receive you the way you want to be received. They need to be told how you want to be received, because if we don't tell people how we want to be received, then they have to guess. They have to guess, and their guess may not be anywhere near what you need, what your needs are. And I think more often than not, when we do open our mouths and our hearts, and we express the truth that is ours, that is within us, and that we need to speak, I think more often than not, I think it is received. We may have that fear of expressing it, but I think it is often received a lot better than we expect it to be. And then there can be this baseline of understanding, and this new foundation of your relationship with whoever it is that you're trying to communicate your truth to. You can have this new baseline with that person or people, and this new foundation of understanding of how you need to be in the world, how you need to be, how you need to show up in the world as yourself. And I think that in that process, when we speak our truth, we allow others to sort of readjust their perspective on us, and that they get to recalibrate and like I said, adjust themselves so that they can have a better view, a more authentic view of who you are, and then they know how to interact with you, and they can still choose, you can both still choose love. That can still be the undercurrent of the relationship. It can still be love. And I think this is how we learn to unconditionally love each other, is through allowing ourselves to be seen and allowing others to see us, in our truth, like allowing ourselves to be seen in our truth, okay, and allowing others to see us in our truth. And then each of us can come at it with different, more clear, with clarity, with the right lenses to see the relationship. And then that relationship can heal, and in whatever ways it needs to heal. And when I say heal, it doesn't mean that there's something bad with your relationship. It may just mean that, like I said, you're just kind of adjusting things so that you can see more clearly. And when you do that, it does heal. It does heal each of you. And I look at these two girls, these two mermaids in here, and if you look at them, they do look like they might possibly have been having some sort of conflict. Maybe they're resting, and they're trying to get to that point of like speaking their truth and resolving this conflict that they have possibly with each other, so that they can swim in their truth. They can each appreciate and love each other, and just grow together. And I think I do kind of think that's what I'm seeing in this, that they are just they're taking a moment to reflect on their relationship and on their own truths, and how they can come together in harmony, and still enjoy the journey with each other, and still love and express and explore together, and appreciate one another, and assist and uplift, and just love each other and support one another on their journey, wherever it is that they go next. And I really feel that's what we need to do. We need to each be able to allow ourselves and others to speak our truths, and allow the space for people to figure out what that is for themselves, and not to push our own agendas and beliefs on someone else, but let that be self-led, and appreciate another person's sovereignty, autonomy, authority over their own selves, and appreciate that, that we're each free in that way, and we need to let people be themselves and figure out who they really are, and not tell them who they are. Okay? And Sapphire agrees with that. She's like, yeah, I am blue too. I like to speak my truth, and I'm a dragon, and maybe some people don't believe in my dragon. Don't believe I'm a dragon, right? Maybe some people don't believe in dragons or mermaids or any of that. But Sapphire wants to say her truth is that she is a dragon. Okay? And she speaks her truth. Anyway, I like my little stuffed toys. They're cute. Anyway, and doesn't she have just like the saddest, most imploring eyes? She's so cute, and I love her color, and she has a golden heart. Yeah. And I think we're all like this. I think we all do want to be, we want to be dragons. We want to breathe out the truth of who we are, and we want to do it from our hearts. I think we are like that, and we do have compassion at the soul level, and maybe the world and society has just hidden that from us, not allowed, has inhibited our ability to see that we have wings, we can fly, we can speak truth, we can recognize truth, we can love unconditionally. These are things we can do, but the world in a lot of ways teaches us not to do those things. And yeah. Okay. I think that's it. And this is called the Saltwater Sisters. And the number 36 breaks down to a 9. And I'm trying to think, maybe one more thing. Salt water is healing, is very healing. And I think that's what this card is trying to tell us, is that we can heal ourselves and our relationships with others by using the throat chakra, speaking our truth and doing it from the heart and from love, and on both ends, the one hearing someone else's truth and the one speaking the truth, like we can converse and learn to understand and receive those messages from other people, receive them with a different lens, with our love lens, our love eyes, or our heart, or what, I don't know. Maybe that sounds cheesy, but like those emojis that have like the heart-shaped eyes. Yeah, look through the eyes of love, right? And there's a song, Looking Through the Eyes of Love. I have that on my channel too. I sang that and recorded it like so many years ago. It's on my channel if you want to listen to that. I like that song. Anyway, okay, I think I'm done. I need to just stop talking now, but I hope you guys have a good day, and don't be afraid to speak your truth and to let others speak their truth and to do it all with love. Okay? We can do this. Right? Have a great day.